Yo, what is up guys, I'm here hitting you up with a new Etheria restart video. Today we got the new update for Etheria restart, and I did want to talk about all the quality of lives that they added to the game, especially for you guys who might not know how it actually functions, and a couple of things you need to be care of as well. But before we jump actually into that, let's talk about the newly added units, which are Liliam and Nilu, whatever her name is. Let's start off with Liliam here, about her stats basically and her skill up investments, which I will highlight tomorrow more accurately as well after I get hands-on experience with her, play with her in PvE and PvP, and then give you a full review on her entirely. But just to kick things off, I just wanted to look at her numbers, to base stats and stuff like that. And the funny thing is, actually, it turned out the way I was saying it, like the S3 gives an attack and a speed boost, and that basically gave it away to me. Like, what if she has like high base speed? Why otherwise would she have a speed boost, right? And I was quite right. She has 125 base speed, which is really fast, guys. 125 is very fast. You could theoretically, I think we will check that tomorrow out, but it could be in theory possible to know what, make her your fastest unit in your lineup and then tackle whatever the fastest unit is on the enemy's team, as an example, and then you can just one-shot that target with the S3, and you don't even have to deal with that speed boost anymore. So this could theoretically be a viable strat. But nonetheless, outside of that, let's take a look at what her skills do. So her S1 max skill has a 260% multiplier to single enemy and recovers HP equal to 60% of the damage dealt. That's very good. Like when if she's doing a lot of damage, like I think if she's very beefy, she could probably hit for like 15 to 20k. So 60% of that, 10k heal, she's probably not gonna die anytime soon, I'm telling you. Then she has the ability Flash, the passive ability. Liliam becomes immune to all control and turn meter minus effects. Now the one thing is, from the get-go she has immunity to control, but you need to get that skill to level 5, so you also have immunity to turn meter minus effects, which is great. Then if we take a look at the skill 2, so Liliam deals 2 hits of 180% damage to a single enemy. For every 1% HP the target has lost, the final damage increased by 1%. This is when you get it to level 5. So maybe starts off with like 0.5%, who knows. And guaranteed inflict a 1-turn stun on targets with less than 70% HP, and a 1-turn stun on all enemies with the target is defeated. The cool thing about her, it's guaranteed, so you don't need any accuracy on her, which makes her very good for controlling and also stunning. Like, you really have to be careful of her, like in a PvP type of sense. I feel like the only thing that you need for her is the level 3, really, because that one is because that at 70% threshold you're able to stun your opponent, which is a viable strat overall. Nonetheless, it is a good ability, but when it comes to skills, I will come to that in a second here, and it's on a 3-turn cooldown right off the bat, right? So you don't even need her at level 5 to get the from 4 to 3. It's standard 3-turn cooldown. Now, last but not least, we have a skill 3. The skill 3 buffs herself attack and speed for 2 turns, deals 500% damage to a single enemy, which starts off at 400%, and increases the final damage by 50%, probably 25, I guess, on targets with more than 60% HP. This hit ignores shields and will seal the target's max HP equal to 50% of the damage dealt. So basically, if she moves first, this is where she hits the absolute hardest, because as it states, increase the fire by 50% on targets which have more than 60% HP. So she does more damage on beefier targets, which helps out quite a lot. Now if you look at it now with the S3 max, she has a 3-turn cooldown, and if we look at the prowess, now the cool thing about her is, if you start off with the S3, for example, you get her speed boost. She has her speed is locked behind her S3 ability, which is good, which is not locked behind the S1 ability. The S1 ability has standard the attack boosts, right, for the character, and the S2 has let me see real quick. I think it was crit rate though. It was crit rate second here. Yes, so she gets 12% additional crit rate when you do that. Personal opinion, you wanna 5-4-1, but ideally 5-5-5 if you want to, but 5-4-1, 5-4-5 if you wanna save a lot of basically. And to kick things off, what you wanna do first, in my opinion, is you do wanna max out the S3, if you only have like lettuces, probably I will get that question. What skill do I need to upgrade first? The S3 is what you want to upgrade first, because the S3 gives you plus 15 speed, plus you get it to 3-turn cooldown, which aligns perfectly when you combine her with a Lily. And then after that, you want to maximize the S1 for sure, the level 5 effect, because you do want to get the turn meter minus effect to her passive ability, which is huge, because especially in a PvP setting, that she cannot be that much controlled without even the stun and stuff. But even with the turn meter minus, this could also be very, very huge. So keep that in mind. Now with her skill 2, I think you're fine with 4, but if you really want to maximize it, this is the one you want to focus last on, but you also kind of want to have it because you want to get that extra 12% crit rate. Now if you look at her advancements real quick, so she gets at, if you can get 2 copies of her, right, you can get an extra 8% crit rate, which does help, and then crit damage, and then everything else is basically the same thing, as you know. But yeah, that extra crit rate 8% is really, really good. And she has very, very high base stats, guys. She has extremely high base stats, as you can see here. As I mentioned, 125 speed is ridiculously high, and she starts off with like 1100-ish attack at P0. Don't be fooled by this number here. This is when she's at P5 at her strongest. It's probably around 1100 when she's at P0. Then we have the other unit. I don't want to talk too much about the Nilu. She is basically kind of a budget. Is she a budget Lily? I wouldn't use. So she applies on her S3 2-turn vulnerable on the enemies and applies speed up to all your allies for 3 turns. The 3-turn speed up is really, really nice overall, and we do not have like a dark support in that kind of category because she also have like healing. Now she has this kind of the ability of, I would say, the Fushu combined with a Lily, I would say. She hits the target for 4 times and healing the ally with the highest attack 12% of their max HP while increasing turn meter by 20%. So she's healing your DPS unit and boosts the turn meter by 20%. Not as good as Lily, for example. That's why probably they say budget Lily with her. And then the S1, also Nilu deals damage and then inflicts 2-turn vulnerable for 2 turns. This one is like whatever. I'm like, yeah, cool, but yeah, it's like you basically have the same debuff on S1 and S3 really, and on the S3 you get like a nice speed buff for 3 turns. But I think where it's really at is your S2 overall, just to for the healing and the speed boosting. But overall, just a nice unit to have, really. Can't go wrong with it. If she's now a must unit, I can't tell. We need more time, but that's just my first review. Now what we want to really talk about is the quality of life they added to this patch, because I also don't want to make this video too long. But as you can see here, now if you go to your tab here, there's now the Arena PvP loadout. Now the Arena PvP loadout looks slightly different from your standard Animus loadout, which is like this blue and goldish slightly, right? Now if you go to PvP, like it's all goldish here, right? Now you can here actually save all your gear, for example. Now if you go, for example, you are happy with a loadout, now you can actually press on save plan and then save it here, because you have 2 tabs now, okay? So these are 2 tabs. This one here, right, with the red, is the PvP tab, and this one is your standard PvE tab. Keep that in mind. Now you can also just, for example, if I want to like use this set specifically, I can copy that set to my Arena loadout. So if I would press this button now, for example, you know what, let me go to my Viper real quick, so this is actually more accurate overall. Now I go here, for example, and then there is my RTA, where was it, Viper. Just as an example, I click on this button. Now the copy was successful. Now if I go in here, now my RTA Viper, which I had already in my PvE loadout before, I can click on that and click on confirm. Now my Viper is equipped with that set, and it's now here because I saved it, right? Now those are the 2 separate things. And then you have, how do you want to activate it? Now you want to go into your PvP, for example. You want to go into the no, not in the Etheria, sorry, but you want to go into that Arena Realm tab. And then actually, if I put my picture to a little bit to the middle here, so you can actually see, now we have Arena Space and Arena PvE PvP loadout, and there's a toggle off and on. You need to switch that toggle to on. This needs to be on. The green icon needs to glow, so you know, okay, your PvP loadout is activated. Also, when you are in that screen, you can click on that icon here, and then it actually redirects you to your PvP loadout, where you can actually switch gear, so you don't have to tap all the way out and then go from there. But as you know, so when you're here, you can also press on that button, and that redirects you to your PvP loadout as well. And this is now completely safe for your PvP, and you can just gear whatever you want to do with PvP, and it's completely separated from your PvE experience. And then next up, obviously, how does the PvE side looks like? Now, if we go, for example, to Doki Doki, and I want to challenge her as an example, now you know the standard gearing and how you want to prepare. So once you set up your team correctly, right? Actually, let me move my camera over here again. Now, once you set up your team correctly, you're like, you know, I'm good to go. As you can see here, this is, for example, a good example. As you can see, my Kazuo is not ideally geared, right? So she's missing gear. I'm like, okay, usually what we would do is we would now click on this button and then have to do all these little steps. I need to change this, do that, right? No, we don't need to do that anymore. Now what you need to do is once you enter the screen, you click on your formation button right here. And now here is the team I used for my Doki Doki farm. Now I click here on use, and this account in the precedence already equipped to by other character. Continue using it. Yes. I want to click on confirm, and now boom. As you can see, now my Kazuya has the gear I gave her when I saved this specific team setup, which is absolutely fantastic, guys. Finally, we got that in our loadout. And yeah, guys, that's actually summarized everything I wanted to share with you guys in this video. We have the quality of life features, which is really good. Also, I will make a separate video on the revelation of how it actually affected the PvP side of the game or making tests, and I will also make a review of Liliam tomorrow when she releases. Guys, as always, if you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below. I really appreciate it, and see you with the next one. Deuces.